Oh no, we have once again rejected from this area. What are we to do here today? What are we to do here today? And that being said, you can see here that there is a ton of resistance in this zone right now, right from there, and here, all coinciding with our wonderfully, incredibly beautiful moving averages. Now, we've hit a very hard rejection of the turquoise, which is the 100. We bust up through the red, which is the 20. We're now breaking below the red once again. My friend, if we break below the red and we're below this triangle here, well, I can tell you our next line is undoubtedly going to be at this point right here. Okay. But at that point, it's quite a way away, and that's all the way back down to 53, 52K once again. So let's pray that Bitcoin gets there so that we can buy more crypto at a cheaper price. Yes, that feels painful to hear, to experience, but really the truth is that you want to be buying Bitcoin when it is at a much lower price, right? You would be able to accumulate more of it, more of this beautiful asset with limited or less money or the same amount of money. So for me, while we are in the position of the stochastic being oversold, overbought, massive rejection coming in at this area, we are very close. If you watched my video on Saturday, this one, and this one, you would realize that we are extremely close to our pinnacle point on this apex in this A frame, and we are minimum about 8 days left now before a breakout. Will this be a fake out, or are you too late to Bitcoin and it pumps right through from this point? Right now, everybody on this planet that knows about trading could have expected a rejection at this very interesting and hardcore conjunction of the 200, which we are rejected off at this point. But my friend, it don't matter, because all we need to do right now is make sure that today we somewhat close above the 20 or this line here, which is only a few speckled dollars away, right back up to like 58,400 we should close above, is the ideal level. If we can do that, we will very likely continue the trend up, and then we will see in the next few days a massive pump. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, we're expecting none other than the incredibly powerful the Federal Reserve interest rate decision. We have not had the lowering of rates since COVID. Okay. So even though we're in a very tight band here, in fact, I'd actually like to go and turn on the Bollinger Bands here. Let's go and have a look at the Bollinger Bands, and let's see what the Bollinger Bands are going to do for us in this position. Because right now, I'd like to turn off, let's turn off our EMA right here, just for now. Look what's happening in our Bollinger Bands, okay? Our Bollinger Bands are also, once they're in this position, they tend to want to pump back up. So at the very least, I mean, cool, we can pull down to like 56,400. Like that's another $1,200 from where we are. What you freaking do? But really, we are getting to this point where if I had to draw this right here, isn't that ironic that the base of the Bollinger Band, even if we had to pull down to 54,000, that would be very likely the base case for us in terms of lower. I don't think we're going to go lower than 54K. What do you think down in the comments below? I'd love to know what your thoughts are about Bitcoin and where we could end up at this point. Now, I want to release us of the Bollinger Bands, and I want to bring about our moon phases. As you can see in the title of the video, and this video here, full moon. Okay, so if you watch my video, I'll leave it pinned in the cards above for you. Then you would know that we could be expecting on full moon some of the most ridiculous things we have ever seen in our lives on Bitcoin. And by that, I mean, if you have ever considered the moon phases, and I'm going to keep a very, very simple chart here, but blue dots are the new moon and white dots are the full moon, of course, right? So as you can see, full moon, pump, full moon, pump, full moon, pump, new moon, dump, new moon, dump, new moon, sideways, new moon, dump, new moon, sideways, new moon, dump, new moon, dump, full moon, pump, new moon, dump, full moon, pump, new moon, dump. We are expecting full moon to happen tomorrow night. So if I can say to you that 9 out of 10 times, and I could be completely wrong, but every single time that there is a new moon, the market dumps. Every time there is a full moon, the market pumps. And the pumps are generally quite big in comparison to what we actually see out there. So pump up to new moon, sideways a bit, sideways a bit. So for me, my friend, I'd be very cautious, and I'd say to you, don't be selling your crypto coins right here at this point, because even if we dumped full day tomorrow up until 56,497, we would still, my friend, be creating higher highs, essentially at this current point. So I'd be very, very cautious right now what you were doing, and do not sell in a space where you should be accumulating. All right, let's move on from this beautiful energy. Make sure you are tuned in right here with me on the Monday Crypto Bliss Spotlight session. I truly appreciate you all. Make sure to use my Bybit link down below. Again, we're rejecting off of the same level. Use my Bybit link down below. Buy yourself some crypto assets. And of course, this video is not financial advice, but I'm just sharing with you what it is that we should be doing together. I'm going to show you some very scary stuff in the charts, but I'm also going to show you some very exciting stuff in the charts. Or the liking to the long term. All right, excuse me, guys. That is my cannabis yawn. Yes, I said it, finally. All right. So, of course, thanks for being here with me on the Crypto Bliss channel. I don't post too much on my Twitter, but I do try to share, and really, there is not much time left for you to get into the space. I shared this the other day. Bitcoin is growing faster than the internet. Let's go and have a look at this. All right. Every single time. So the black is the internet users, and Bitcoin is, of course, the orange pill. So ever since 2017, Bitcoin has been adopting way faster than the internet. Now, what do you think we're going to see and we're going to expect in 2024, 2025, 2026? We're going to get to 1 billion users in Bitcoin very, very soon. We're only at an estimated like 250, 300 million users at the moment. And I like this because Fred Kruger even commented on this post, hold to at least 2030. So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 2030. 1.5 billion users in terms of adoption minimum. Okay. He's saying hold, don't sell any. And I've heard that time and time again. Now, with the Federal Reserve coming towards its highest point, fastest interest rate decisions, has been somewhat chilled over the last few years. Now, the time has come here. Excuse me, guys. That just happens. The time has come here really to have a look at how important it is and pivotal point we are right now. Because even though every single time there was a reversal in the Fed's fund rate decision, you can see that there was always a recession to follow. But that was always the best time to buy everything. And I'm going to show you with conviction now that everything that is falling, you should be accumulating, including these shitball assets that I'm going to talk about here in a few moments. But for now, the Federal Reserve has come to its next interest rate decision. And this undoubtedly is the biggest news that we have all been waiting for. And with the decision, okay, and the placement of all of these other Federal Reserve's interest rate decisions to stick at this level, the forecast is to lower it by 25 basis points down to 5.25 basis points. All right. That is only 25 basis points, but I'm going to show you something right now in a little moment that is going to actually make you laugh, because somebody believes that it should be lowered by like 75 to 1 basis point. If that had to happen, you would literally break the entire global economy like this, like glass shattering from a giant freaking anything sitting on it. Okay, that is epic. Now, with the Federal Reserve's interest rates being one of the highest, and it is currently sitting at about 5.5%, the ECB recently lowered last week down. The BOE wants to lower down. SNB lower down. RBA lower down. BOC lower down. RBZ lower down. The BOJ, they might not lower, they might widen to increase. CBR is insane. It's at 19%. I mean, how can an economy survive at 19%? You can't. And so RBI 6.5%, PBOC 3.35%, and that's why China is just like miles ahead of the States at this point in terms of economic stability. BCB at 10.5%. So I don't know about you, but I'm expecting this to unfold in one of the most beautiful ways possible. Yes, we might expect a recession, but do I think that the recession is going to happen now? I don't know. What do you think down below? Personally, I would like to just share. I don't believe so, but so this lady probably does believe so, because she's insisting on a 75 basis point hike. Now, I don't know what you're thinking, but she clearly knows nothing about the markets, because if you had to lower 75 basis points at this point, that must mean that there's something wrong in the market. Sorry, the fan's also blowing on me. You know, it's giving me so much oxygen. And with the fastest adoption busy happening in the history of any asset, okay, the federal funds rates, particularly looking to be lowered on Wednesday, undoubtedly it has been said that we will lower this week, and prediction of 5.25 basis points. We also have the meeting, we have the projections, we have the conference, we also have the CPI, the crude oil inventories data that is coming out. So the biggest news, undoubtedly, is the Federal Reserve minutes on Wednesday evening, and that is it. That is the highest, most important news of this entire time. In fact, of this entire year. All right. So with that being said, I know that without a doubt, we are seeing something very interesting unfold in our session. And even if we lower 75 basis points, which I personally think is unlikely, we are still to expect some ridiculous stuff that is happening, because investors sold a staggering 11.73 billion in stocks last week. These investors got wrong-footed as the markets rose 4% this week. Okay, it is still clearly too early to flip bearish right now. I'm sure you heard that. It is clearly still too early to flip bearish right now. Okay, so stay tuned, because the S&P currently is finding its level of support on the 50 moving average, the 20. We've used recent market corrections as opportunity to add more trades, new trades. That is on the 20. So 20, 50, and 100 moving averages here. Okay. This technical structure isn't giving us worry. Even if it had to fall all the way down to the 100, we're still bullish on the S&P. Yes, that could cripple gold because it is somewhat correlated to some degree or not. But with an incredible Kingdom of Bhutan now owning 13,011 Bitcoin worth 780 million, Bitcoin is absolutely getting ready to take off. Look at this beautiful energy out here in this wonderful world. We can see that the Fed funds target range versus Bitcoin, no matter what happens. The last time the Fed dropped the interest rates, look what happened. Right there, it dropped the interest rates, okay, all through this time, kind of sat sideways, and then it completely pumped all this time while the interest rates remained lower. We had a black swan event, as we all know. And right now, we're at some of the highest. So if interest rates begin to drop, how do you think Bitcoin is going to react? Let me know down below what your thoughts are. But for me, this man looks hella stressed. Okay. The Federal Reserve is expected to cut the interest rates this week for the first time since COVID. Are you actually prepared? Because this rocket asset, Bitcoin, my friend, the orange pill, there is no red pill. There is no blue pill. There is only the orange pill. Okay. And the orange pill is Bitcoin, because that orange pill is going to save your future, save you in your future, and give you the best savings. Just like what has Mr. President Bukele has been doing. And you can see here that he's recently announced that El Salvador will no longer borrow external debt to finance its budget. Bitcoin country is winning. I wonder why. That's because they've got more Bitcoin on their balance sheet than what the Federal Reserve essentially not has right now, because the assets have not been transferred over. And if they are transferred over into the Federal Reserve, wow, well, then we are transferring those assets over, and we have invited the devil to play with these assets, with offering countries like that the opportunity to have more power than you. That's why you need to use my buy bit link down below. Buy this asset while it's busy falling. Buy while it's in the red. It's the simple rule. Buy while it's in the red. 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 Even buy it while it's in the green. I mean, even Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy said he'll be buying the tops forever. So let's go and have a look at some of our charts. There are a few things that I want to show you that are critically important. Starting off with this chart very specifically, you can see here my yellow line. We kind of hit the top here and built a falling wedge pattern. We have found stability on the 100 moving average. That's where we are finding stability. Look at that stability level right at the base of this bottom yellow box. That is estimated about 56,000. Take or leave a few dollars. Okay. Now the interesting fact is that on price we are actually building higher lows, and on the stochastic, in the same time frame, we have been building lower highs. Generally, that including the MACD building its level of higher lows. Okay, higher highs, higher lows. I was correct the first time. Is actually giving us the momentum to tell us that we are in a bullish divergence, and this is busy unfolding on the 3-day time frame. Now, cool. On the daily, we've been rejected from the 100. The stochastic looks a little bad. The MACD actually doesn't look bad at all. The blue has recently just crossed over, and we have yet to see an unfolding. So once again, the MACD losing some momentum. Once again, we can see that that momentum is being hunted for at this point. So right now, you can see that we are getting, and isn't that interestingly so, just aligning ever so perfectly. Let's have a look at this date here, quickly on the edge here. So call it this one the edge of October, okay? The beginning of October. Didn't I just tell you that this is now right at the very tippy tip is 28th of September? So isn't it very interesting that both of those are now really heavily starting to coincide with one another? The MACD, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy that this is unfolding. Look at this. Higher lows. Holy Trinity. And speaking of the Trinity, let's go and speak about something that is actually very good for the markets, like certain things dropping on their asses, like the dollar, right? the dollar has been falling. The dollar is falling. It's trying to find support on this beautiful purple horizontal box. But my friend, we're like the MACD is just literally starting to come down into this zone. I would expect us to very much pull harder down into the depths and the abyss of the Dixie. And I would expect the Dixie now to probably pull down and drop at least to this level, and then next level here at the 99.28, as you can see. Now, if the dollar is dropping, what else is dropping that is good for the markets? Well, guess what? Oil is dropping. It's continuously making lower highs, okay, being rejected. And right now, oil is at a very critical moment. Now, think of all the businesses across the world. I own businesses. I import, I export products from across the world into South Africa and out of South Africa. And my friend, it costs a lot of money. When oil is lower and cheaper, things are much more affordable in the market. Therefore, businesses have better margins and better profits to operate from, and hence us having the ability to take that liquidity and pump it back into other assets that can give us higher returns, like our businesses and like Bitcoin. So why would I not be buying these assets while Bitcoin is currently falling? Interesting that Bitcoin is falling while the dollar is falling, while oil is falling. What else is falling? Okay, so we've established the dollar down, the oil price down. The next one is the treasury yields, the 5-year treasury yields. It has been falling. And look at this. We are falling. We've broken this level. We are falling. So the stochastic might be falling on its arse, but yes, it's coming up to test the 200, but this can fall even more right now. And this, my friend, these are telling us that it is more affordable right now, and it is cheaper to be able to buy these assets at these discounted prices. Now, you would say, well, why would I want to buy the dollar? Well, I would say to you, buy the dollar on the way down so that you're able, and the way that you buy the dollar is with your other assets. You buy the dollar with your other assets, but is it now the right time to buy the dollar? I wouldn't say so, because the dollar has to fall. So you would accumulate more of the dollars when they're down somewhere in this region, even up to the white line, okay? And then use those to buy all of these other assets back up, like oil, because maybe oil falls down a little bit more. This is a very special time in history that all of these assets are down. Maybe this needs to come and retest this very strong support zone. Look at this support zone right there, actually, at 27.56. That's quite a drop. That still is an estimated further 20% drops in treasury bond yields. Could that unfold? I don't know. I'm not an economist, and nor really do I care to understand that information. But what I do want to understand, my friend, is how Bitcoin makes it out of this particular trend that it is currently in right now. Well, let's go and have a look. First of all, we're back testing this ribbon. The ribbon is constantly rejecting, so I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if we came all the way down to 52, even 48 again, I would not be surprised. I'm not surprised that Bitcoin is currently falling, because when the big boys cannot maintain, okay, they cannot buy this asset at high premium prices. They need to buy them at low prices, because that's just better for their books and their profit. So I'm going to give us the last day of the year right here. Okay, boom. That's the last day of the year. Now, I want to leave that line in here for us, because until then, okay, I think we could be sitting sideways until the elections even. We have two very important dates left in this year. The first is the Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday. Tick, that will be one out of the way. The second is the elections on the 4th of November / 5th of November. And hence, that will be the second tick. That will probably be the point we're expecting the rally to continue. Now, I ironically just drew this line in. I didn't draw it in on purpose on this time. But very interestingly so, we could still sit here for another month to a month and a half. September is known as Redtember. October is known as Uptober or Rectober. I don't know. Whichever one you want it to be, it doesn't matter. Just accumulate these damn assets. No financial advice. I know if Bitcoin is dropping like this, your altcoin bags are bleeding to death. Okay? Yes, mine are too, and it feels like I'm farting against the hurricane. Okay? But right now, I'm just adding more of these assets. I'm selling my dollars for these assets, and I'm accumulating these assets. Yes, I do have some liquidity still remaining on the side in case there's some sort of freaking flash crash, and I will, at that point, deploy it all in case. But if not, I will just gradually buy these assets up until there's a breakthrough of the 73,000 level up here. Once we break through this level right here, the 72,700 level, I will not be adding any more liquidity or dollars to these assets. I will now wait out the rest of the bull season. Okay. The only asset I will continue to accumulate is Bitcoin beyond this price. Doesn't matter how much it goes up. I don't care. I'm going to be adding to my position, okay, in Bitcoin. And yes, once I have sold once we've seen the altcoin season rally, okay, because others are getting ready to pump. We've been constantly making higher lows here. We're getting ready. The next move is up here. Once we come up here, that's a massive W pattern with a neckline breaking out there. We could see some ridiculous prices coming out of this market, my friend. And if you still don't believe me, well, let's try to understand. Let's try to understand that right now we are still at a very, very early stage on these altcoins. We still have an incredible journey ahead of us, okay? Even if we pull down and scrape off like this, like the jet, like the first takeoff on American Made when he ended up going to meet the drug lords. Isn't that interesting, right? Just pretty much, let's say, it's going to be like I know, whatever. I mean, I can just imagine that actually here at the end of the day, we are going to be expecting a $4 trillion for altcoins only market cap, possibly anything between 4 to 8 trillion. 8 trillion is my personal target. And I really think that Bitcoin could double that up to more, like 10 to 12 trillion. But let's see, if Bitcoin had to hit a 10 to 12 trillion dollar market cap, we'd probably see Bitcoin at around $700,000 price. So I don't know if that's going to be where we're going to be, but some people do believe that. But for now, at the end of the day, I really we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. There's no way else to explain this. But we are literally at the bottom. We cannot, yes, we can go lower, but it's undoubtedly and unlikely that we will go much lower. And I say that because full moons tend to show us the truth. Okay? All moons tend to show us the truth. And so if we just watch very closely, we are coming to that point. So even if the stochastic, okay, had to over the next few days pull down all the way to the 19th, the 20th, even up to there, okay, and then had to start turning, I don't think you would realize what would happen here. But if we had to not do that and we had to do this, okay, we could sit alongside there for some time. I don't know. I don't know what the markets are going to do. I can't predict. But all I can tell you is that right now is a very incredible time to buy these assets. And you need to be using my Bybit link down below. You can get a ton of them on there. Okay. So last but not least, with Bukele, with MicroStrategy, MicroSailor, with the Federal Reserve interest cut rates, with the exception of all of the buy power that is busy happening in Bitcoin and crypto, with the priming of potentially some of the fastest lowering we have ever seen in the history of interest rates, okay, because this woman, they know something. That's why our fellow Fred head chair has that look on his face. Smells like rain outside here. I cannot wait for the rain here in South Africa, in Joburg. It has been months of just absolutely no rain. It's been drought for months and months. But anyways, Federal Reserve, they lower their rates as quickly as they're going to do. Keep an eye out. Central African time, my time, 8 p.m. This is going to be where we're needing to be very, very vigilant about what is going on and what needs to be actually unfolding over the next short moment with us in the space. So I really, I have a lot set up for us. When you really do see others buying and you don't have any money left, I hope you have put some money aside. It is raining. I smell it. It's dribbling. Woohoo! Yay! Oh, that is so special, guys. I'm just busy looking out our window there on the driveway. I'm going to go dance in the rain in a little moment. I might have to end this video short, guys. I'm a traditional healer. I'm Sangoma as well by this. And right now, when there is the first rains that are coming, we should go dance in the rain, shirtless, barefoot, and just enjoy the moment. It's incredible. So anyways, I know that's not what you're here about. But all I want to say is that there will be a critical point. If we happened to break this line right here that I have drawn ever so nicely for us, then yes, I would say we should very likely be worried if we break this, break down and close the candle below here. We break this low, I would be worried. Our next low is down here at 48. If we end up breaking that, my friend, we will head on a little bit lower and we could end up coming down to like 40K on top of it. The next level down is at about 41 to 42K. So that for me is possibly still in the cards. I've always said to you that we could end up coming back down to 30K. But the question is what's going to force it down to 30K? Because that, my friend, is still like another really ridiculous 50% pull down. Ouch, 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 ouch. That would hurt. That would literally probably kill all altcoins. Okay. But really, at that point, yes, as much as you don't have any, I don't know, go sell your computer. Okay. I don't know. Keep your cell phone, trade on the cell phone. Go do whatever you have to. Sell the car, sell the books, sell whatever you need to sell, but buy. Okay. Now, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, make some noise out there. And yeah, share some love on the channel. And really, what beautiful energy. Thanks, Etan, for the love as always. Make sure to go check these videos out. Guys, I have to go out into this rain. I need to go and just cleanse myself. If we do collapse further, just make sure you're vigilant on these two things here. Okay? Lastly, before I go, the monthly is not looking bad at all in any way whatsoever. Okay? That low is 49K. Remember, we've already tapped it. That 20 moving average is starting to turn back up. It's looking good. We cannot ignore the truth about what's happening. Last week's candle engulfed the previous week's candle. That is a bullish sign. We've got a double bottom, okay, on the weekly. Actually, if we look at this, one bottom, and 2 bottoms. Okay, you need to know this kind of stuff because right now that double bottom is bouncing very nicely off of the 50 weekly moving average. Okay, we're gonna bounce between these 2 levels right now. That's all I'm gonna say to you. We're going to bounce between. Let's get the brush, and let's do this. We're gonna bounce probably here like this. Okay. Let's change that to red because that's the red line. And then let's do this because this is kind of hovering, and I would say that that's probably going to start pulling up. And let's convert that into the orange that we're seeing there. So as you can see here, we could literally just bounce and play around in this little zone and capitulate in this little zone, this tight range, until the 4th of November, really. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be a short that kind of plops us down to here, but the following day, I can tell you, we're going to have a buy up after the Federal Reserve announces their moment. But so I'm going to just leave this here for now, and I'm going to leave you for now. And if you enjoyed this video, show some love. Of course, we are at the best place that we could possibly be. Make sure to subscribe to my Twitter page, my YouTube page. Thank you for being here with me today on the Crypto Bliss Spotlight live session. Truly appreciate you. Make sure you use my Bybit links down below. Trade this with me. We are looking good. Don't go anywhere. Don't sell your crypto assets to these whales. Okay, I actually made an announcement of that not too long ago. Where did I do that? Okay. I love this. I now own 0.1 BTC. If you own 0.1 BTC, let me know down in the comments below. That is mad. I actually own a little bit more than that. So that is beautiful. And where did I want to go and show you? I can't remember where it is. But anyways, the big whales, don't sell to the big whales. That's what I'm just telling you. Please. Rather just spare yourself the pain and the anguish. Subscribe to my channel. And thank you for being here with me tonight. I truly appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. You blessed, beautiful souls. Take care and have a lovely and wonderful evening ahead.